Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. We are officially on tropics watch when it comes to Tropical Storm Helene. As of right now, the 8 a.m. update does have it increasing slightly with sustained winds going from 65 this morning now up to 70 miles per hour. The moment it goes above 74, we will officially have a hurricane on our hands. So this is the 8 a.m. advisory, just came down about 7 minutes ago. Again, sustained winds of 70 miles per hour. The pressure continues to drop. Now, with this tropical system, the lower the pressure, the stronger the storm. And we're going to continue to see those millibars dropping pretty quickly as it rapidly intensifies, possibly into a Category 3 hurricane, a strong Category 3 hurricane as it approaches the Big Bend of Florida by Thursday evening. So this is the latest update. Again, the cone has not changed since the 5 a.m. update. We will get a new forecast cone at 11 a.m., but it does show here sustained winds increasing to a Category 1 status by Wednesday, then Category 2 status by early Thursday morning, almost doubling its strength between now and Thursday afternoon, up to now a Category 3 hurricane with sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. So intensity forecast hasn't changed much since yesterday's update. The forecast location, the cone, and its width hasn't really changed much. It has narrowed a bit since about yesterday morning, still encompassing parts of Panama City to the west and Cedar Key almost to the east, meaning that anywhere within that cone, the center of what will be a major hurricane could be making landfall. Of course, any little jog to the east, any closer to Central Florida it gets, the higher our chances for local impacts will be. But not only is a storm going to be a very powerful storm, it is going to be a very large storm. Latest update says that the tropical storm force wind field of this area extends outward from the center about 175 miles. That means that even with a landfalling storm in the Big Bend here in Central Florida, we will be feeling those outer bands here throughout Wednesday evening, meaning today, into your Thursday. The worst of it still being Thursday. So, because of that, we do have now tropical storm warning and a hurricane warning in place. It all depends on where you are. The majority of Central Florida right now is under a tropical storm warning, meaning tropical storm conditions can be expected within the next 24 hours. And a hurricane warning is in effect for Marion County and areas to the coastline along the Gulf. So, again, that it does include Marion County west of 75. Now, let's look here at clouds and rain forecast. Before we start talking about impacts county by county, I want to show you first the timeline. If you are heading out the door, work, school, running errands, today will be your best day to do it, where Thursday will be the worst of the weather. But that doesn't mean the entire day is going to be clear. We are going to be watching the approach of our first band by about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. Meteorologist Julie Broughton will be pinpointing that here on News 6. But some of those heavy rain bands will approach our western communities, scooping around, kind of spiraling through Central Florida by about 7, 8 o'clock. Now, if we get enough heating of the day today, and then we get one of these squall lines spin through, there will be that potential of strong to severe weather embedded within this. Tropical downpours, gusty winds. That's a guarantee. Where that threat increases with their severe weather risk will be that tornado concern. That right side, the dirty side of the storm, is where we will be under throughout the majority of your Wednesday evening and into Thursday evening. This is Thursday around midnight. We can't rule out the chance of seeing a couple of those squall lines still clipping parts of our coastline. Even though this is a Gulf storm, the Atlantic will still have rough surf, rough seas, but also some pretty intense storms as well, depending, of course, exactly where those squall lines do officially line up. It does look like we could have a little bit of a lull between about sunrise and about the lunchtime hour. Still expecting very gusty winds at times, but the next round of rain starts to approach Central Florida by about lunch to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Some of those little pop-up storms, though, certainly will have that potential and to become something more severe. So again, we're really focusing on that severe tornado risk because that certainly could be likely in the forecast throughout Thursday afternoon. You can notice there on the corner of your screen, there is the landfall of what could be major hurricane Helene by 8 p.m. Here in Central Florida, that's where we will see the strongest of our winds for 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, as again, we will be the closest at that point to the center of the storm. Once the sun goes down Thursday, there will be kind of a pullback of those rain chances. We'll still have some tropical downpour still in the forecast into Friday. So again, the worst of the weather starts up a little bit this afternoon and into the evening hours, a bit of a lull, and then things ramp up again Thursday afternoon. So let's take you real quick here, county by county, because I know that we have such a large viewing area. Conditions in Marion County will be very different than conditions in Brevard County. So let's show you here. This is the worst of the weather. Once again, will be Thursday. You will have the strongest winds in Central Florida, or at least East Central Florida. Gusts upwards about 45 to 65 miles per hour. That tornado threat, that's in the forecast no matter what county you are in, with rainfall totals up to about 4 to 6 inches of rain. Let's go a little further south into Sumter County, Bushnell, Webster, Wildwood, about 3 to 5 inches of rain. Still, also the worst of the weather will be Thursday. That doesn't mean you're not going to have rough weather leading up to Thursday, but just do be aware that the worst of it, the strongest of the winds, the heavier the rain will be Thursday. That's the same story for you guys in Lake County, from Paisley, Asatula, down through Claremont. Your wind gusts upwards about 30 to 50 miles per hour, with rainfall about 2 to 4 inches when the system is all set and done. A little less rain is expected in Seminole County, with wind gusts between 30 to 50 miles per hour. That tornado threat also will be likely through Oviedo and the Longwood area as well. A little further down I-4 as we travel south into Orange County, 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. The worst of the weather, once again, will be Thursday, with those winds picking up just above that tropical storm force kind of category there, about 30. And then in Osceola County, Kissimmee, Point Siena, 1 to 3 inches of rainfall can't be ruled out. Polk County could see a little more rain as you will be a little further towards the west of Osceola. Same story when it comes to our coastline, from Flagler County, Palm Coast, Bunnell. Still the worst of the weather looks to be Thursday. Down through Brevard County, I should say Volusia County, we're talking still also about 1 to 3. Conditions up and down our coastline pretty unison, just because of how far you are from the actual landfall of the storm. Also, though, that tornado threat, can't stress that enough, that will be our biggest concern. Now, rain chances today do go up to 60%, primarily after about 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. A lot of schools, we've got a lot of school closures, we've got a lot of impacts, we got sandbag locations. We've got all those different things all readily available on the palm of your hands on our Pinpoint Weather app, of course, on clickorlando.com. That is also where we are going to be updating all of our impacts. Whenever we have a new forecast cone, we will, of course, be bringing all that to you right here on clickorlando.com, our Pinpoint Weather app. So bringing you back live here in the weather office. We got meteorologist Michelle Morgan. She is also here. There she is. She's waving. We have meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, Julie Broughton, Samara Kokinas. We are all going to be in here around the clock, keeping an eye on this. Yes, this system is going to be more of a West Coast landfall concern. They're anticipating a very different story than we are. With that being said, the system still is extremely large. It is extremely strong. So here in Central Florida, we can't completely let our guard down, especially with that severe risk in place. Some areas might just see 1 to 3 inches of rainfall, but depending on where exactly those squall lines roll and how often they roll over the same location, there will be some areas that could deal with that flooding potential. So with that being said, extremely saturated grounds, the flooding threat, the gusty winds, and the tornado threat. Those are the 3 things here in Central Florida we will be very closely monitoring. I have a sneaky suspicion we will have a tornado watch issued later on today, waiting to see if the National Weather Service will be issuing that. Again, we will have a new forecast update, including a brand new cone, coming up at 11 o'clock. We, of course, will be bringing that to you live on clickorlando.com. And, of course, on air, online, on apps, on social, wherever you need us, we will be there. So make sure to stay weather aware later on this afternoon, but especially for your Thursday.